Oh, wow.
With new technology, torus field generators.
Wow.
Restructuring water. A lot of new technology. It's musicians are.
So Donna, yes, we did a Facebook Live already on Bina's suggestion about the physical consequences of the Way of Impeccability. And then we said we ended because Bina saw Sher's video on What If, and she wants to watch this, and we want to watch this together and connect. All right. So as this is all happening, a new friend I made yesterday here in Starbucks came in, and he's sitting just 2 tables away from me. And so I said, hey, we're on Zoom, come join, connect. And he did listen to some of that Zoom. But then I said, okay, we're going to do a new Zoom and a new Facebook Live on watching the What If video together. And we're going to do that in a moment, right? And as he's doing this, another person and now another new friend on the other side of Tyler, he heard the conversation and he was listening and he said, wow. So he invited me to a conference that they are having this afternoon at 4:00, which is a group of, and I said, what's it about? I said, a group of enlightened individuals who are getting together with a specific intent and focus to start a new health center. But it is, but it is the kind of health. It is the kind, but in the way, and his name is David or JD Foster on. So I'm not sure if it goes by JD or David, but anyway. And it is the way he said it real quick. It is the health center, the kind of health center that Donna always talks about, that she's seen in her, in Vision in Love City.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes, and they are. I'm going to this conference, and he says, he wants me to be me, and from what we're talking about. So he recognized where I'm coming from, and he wants to connect to that. So very powerful, very, very, very powerful. Very excited.
Today's the day for it.
Yes,
sure.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
yes.
So I don't know who joined there. Hello, whoever it is. David. Here we go. So I was just talking about David. I was just talking about David. So fantastic. This is just magical. So David, before I'm waiting on Facebook to start the live, but everybody here is most intimately connected, and we know Donna's vision, and we are, all of us, yes, we are connected to the Way of Impeccability is the core, at least for Donna and Bina and Sher. Tyler, I just newly met. But again, it's very obvious that the underlying conceptualities of what we are talking about, which are, living more, extending ourselves, being deliberate, because that's the subtitle of the way. It's a deliberate way of living. This is what our common bond is. It is that moreness, and to put that moreness into practical application, not only personally, physically, and in our daily lives, in our habits and our moods, but also in the greater environment. Right. So Tyler and David are just speaking there, but I'm keen to hear from David. So we will morph a little bit here, David, since you just joined us, to if you can maybe say in detail what you invited me to, why you invited me, and how that invitation came about. David doesn't have audio. I don't have another headset.
I got it now.
Okay, brilliant. There you go. Okay, so I have to repeat all that. I was just saying there's a commonality of bond for those like Donna and Bina and Sher. We've been connected to the Way of Impeccability program, which I run. And it's not, it requires no belief. It's about self-evident sensibility, and it is about the practical application of living more. Now, yes, it is very personally focused, but what you just said in those few moments there, it was enough to make me realize that what you are doing is this in a greater sphere and in a greater application, in a very specific focused thing. So I'm keen to hear from you, David, in detail, if you could repeat for everyone why you invited me and what you invited me to.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
loud and clear,
Yes.
loud and clear. Fantastic. Nice voice.
I have been noticing the coincidences as I call them, coincidences. I've been paying attention for around 15, 20 years maybe. And so I walk in this morning and I just heard some words that triggered my listening for consciousness. And we are having a gathering today regarding the formation of a corporation that has taken on the dissolution of 11 businesses, coming under the umbrella of one company that is solely dedicated to health and wealth. I don't know what they're solely dedicated to, but we're having an announcement today regarding the juncture of 11 businesses in the hemp industry, all areas of it. We have brand new technology to unveil, specifically the torus field generator, which restructures the water, and also interacts with plant. We can adjust and input the frequency of any hertz into the plant. So if we want to deal with curing cancer, we input the 111 frequency. I'm not the mathematician behind this. I'm just a conduit. And so when I noticed the vibration with this gentleman here, I felt the need to extend an invitation. There you have it.
Brilliant.
Wow.
That's very exciting. That's very exciting. So what we were going to do here is to watch a video that Cher made, because Bina commented on it being exciting. And it doesn't really matter the activity, what we do, there's always connectivity. So we just use these as platforms, as stimulation mechanisms for connecting us to more. So, it's something that we do on a regular basis. We just pick something. Now, in this case, Cher's video likely has something more to it in itself. But the activity, it's an activity of connectivity and to share the moreness of what we're all about, right?
Okay. Let me add something here. That it might be really good if David and Tyler could join us before that video, because it was more about way of impeccability, and we were discussing things about physical effects of way of impeccability, not only on mind, psychologically or spiritually, but physically also.
Yes.
But this video is specifically because Cher made this, and it was like for me, it was on my personal request that Cher is just accepted to make a live Facebook video on that, because for me it was like really amazing, because I know how Cher is growing, and like rapidly she's growing. If I'm just explaining it for David and Tyler especially, because they are new. So for me, it is important because I can see the growth. I can see the moreness in Cher. And if you guys know her, and if you guys could watch her previous video, you will see the amazing energy difference. You will see that, and you will feel that energy difference in her. So that's why this is important. It might not be like, okay, it's a video, she made that, but for us, for people who are already in, they know her, and the growth and the moreness she is projecting now is amazing.
Yes, and in a physical way. And here's the thing, that the magic of our Facebook Live was about the physical consequences of the way of impeccability. And yet that comes. And what are you talking about? You're talking about a health center, a new, different, enlightened health center. What is this about? It is about the physical consequences of the application of our moreness. Now, we just happen to use the way of impeccability because that's our key focus. It makes no difference. Whatever moreness that we are connecting to, our spirituality, our growth, our intent, stability, our entire practice of way of being, our habit shifting, our mood management, all of this.
Yes.
When you are looking at it from a point of view of this future gym, and Future Health Center. This is what it's about, because health isn't only physical. If we don't have the spiritual, we don't have the psychological, we don't have the mental, we don't have the attitude.
That's right.
You're wasting your
total
time.
Body awareness.
Exactly.
Total.
And it's
total essential
to integrate
self-realization. Absolutely.
Exactly. Now let me ask you, Donna, in your vision of Love City, as you know, that vision that you had, part of it was a profound health center. Yes.
A profound what? I'm sorry.
A health center.
Oh yeah.
Can you elaborate on your vision? I'm asking why, because we are seeing a confluence here of, like David said, coincidentality. You know, confluence of energy, of like-mindedness. Things are coming together. So I want to just bring your point in, Donna, to say, hey, look how things are connected, because you know your vision of this is a long-standing, lifetime thing, right?
Yes.
So can you explain a bit
vision
for us?
of it, as far as the health center, is a representation of the core that needs to be in place for self-realization, and that's to understand the physical underpinnings of what it takes to have a united, collaborative approach to life, and the paradigm shift that we want to see happen. So it's almost as though you manifest that wholeness, that unity, through a mechanism such as a health center, but it's a very forward-thinking health center in that water is involved, which is interesting. So infuse it with some love, hurts, energy. Yeah, that's cool.
Water what?
And the 528s and all that good stuff.
Water.
And,
So say again, Donna. David's asking, what you said, water hurts energy, yeah?
Hurts, like your
Frequency.
528s, like musical hurts music into the water and it heals. And he gets that. That's very cool.
Yes,
and so
we're bringing in a healer who can heal 100% of illnesses.
Wow.
He will clear all the hospitals of all illnesses.
Right. Through actually music and the I've talked about that before for those that have been involved. I don't know much about it really. I don't know the details, but I do know that through music and through the different, it's HZ. So for those who are more experienced in this explanation than I, please add. But it has to do with the frequency of energy. And water plays a key role in that you can infuse water and then it infuses your body and there's self-healing that can happen. So even the clothes that would be offered at the health center will be healing and of natural materials, and even the equipment is manufactured in a way that there is no harmful metals, and it's not about working out, or it's very different than that. So
it's programming with torus field generators inside the dwellings, inside creating the Star of David Metatron cube.
Nice.
All of these, and we have the.
That's where the architecture comes in.
Yes, exactly. And
it's
happening.
Donna's
it's moving at an astonishing pace.
Wow.
Donna's vision included specific.
I do too. It's amazing to be connected to this venue. You know, the internet.
Yeah. And Donna, your vision has always included very specific architecture.
Yes. Like nothing my physical body in this moment in time has ever seen.
Wow. So this is the exciting part for me. Yes, we'll get into the details of the health center after the meeting and after the conference. But what is exciting right now, it is the connectivity, how we are all kind of connecting in this spontaneous way. And this is it. This is the magic of it. This
Across
is what I
all
want to pay.
fields of consciousness.
Yes. This is what I want to pay attention to. Things falling into place, things happening. Just that there is a connectivity. And Tyler, you're a big part of it. You just that one simple comment that you made. One simple comment. That's it. And
what
it
was
started
the
a chain
comment?
reaction. I was sitting here in Starbucks yesterday, and somebody I know, a friend of Olivia's, came and was at the table next door to me with a friend of hers, and they were chatting, and then Olivia's friend was on the phone, and Tyler started talking to the other friend, and then when Olivia's friend got off the phone, she turned to me and said, "Oh, where are you staying right now?" So I said, "Oh, I don't have a place right this moment. I'm just in transition. I'm just staying in my van." So Tyler picked up on this and he said, "Oh, I've lived in my van all over the world, and the thing that really was powerful to me in doing so was to be aware of and to see how much people are kind and good and generous." And this just started. But what connected to me wasn't Tyler's comment. It's the way he did it. He reached out. He saw there was a moreness to something, and he reached out. He created an opening, which I then connected back to. So, his attitude, his mindset, all of it. Tyler he didn't have an agenda. He wasn't looking to impose. There was no self-importance involved, none of that. So I looked at the underlying intent, which is just my habit to do so. I said, whoa, here's a real person. This somebody is genuine, and he's making an opening here. He's taking a little, he's just opening a door. So of course, how can I not step through? And then we started chatting, and, we got into a whole long, deep conversation, and, profoundness ensued. So I just wanted to make that point that, a simple little thing, a simple act of genuineness, in other words, it's translated into so much now. And sometimes we don't realize it, but we can be conduits. And our simple actions can have profound consequences. Very powerful to be aware of. Very powerful. Very huge.
And letting go of the attachment to the outcome of all those connections.
Exactly. To let it come and be happen. There was no agenda involved in that connectivity. Ours, yours, David's, mine. No,
Organic.
none of it. It's organic, right? So part of the way of impeccability, as Bina, Donna, and Sher know, it's living in attunement. Attunement is a big power word, and that is what is happening. So Tyler was in attunement. He just attuned to the vibe of the situation and connected. Same with you, David.
I'd like to interject that also I've been working on this project for, as I said, I don't know what I said, since 2003.
Oh, wow.
And this project just came together about a month ago with this group of people. We took the old paradigm, the old information that my colleague and I compiled, and we have brought to, other teams have been assembled through that organic process of symbiosis, of interconnectivity. And so now what we're doing is having this party to bring out the information. And I'll segue now into what my next phase of development is, and that's this VIT 2020. VIT 2020 is a gentleman by the name of Justin Vitorello, who is running for president of the United States with the message of health and wealth for every American. Now, I put him in touch also with my colleague from Yale, who's back east. And they also are making great waves. But Justin Vitorello is on his way here. I'm picking him up at the airport in 3 weeks. He's bringing 3 buses. He's committed to running for president for 12 years on the message of health and wealth for every American, and consciousness. Breathing exercise, centering exercises. It's going to be music, art, food, and fun. He has 3 food trucks. So all the, we talk about connectivity, all the action that is gathering, the momentum that has built up and is shifting and is expelling now. It's the big breath that's releasing.
Yeah. We're in a time of profound paradigm shift. And this is exactly the moment now where the paradigm shifts are starting to really come into being. And this is very exciting.
Oh, yes. Yes,
very exciting. That's really huge. That's really, really huge. Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow. It's very exciting. So just from an ongoing point of view, we're going to be attending this at 4:00 this afternoon, and then of course we'll follow up, and I'll let everybody know what's happening and what's taking place.
And we can have the Zoom meeting there. That's fine.
Wow.
There's plenty of spaces for us. Everybody on this screen, plus more that want to join. There'll be other. I mean, it's
open
infectious.
to anybody.
Yeah,
exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow.
And as Bina is so fond of saying, awareness is contagious.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I like that.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's
that a
one of the
lot.
things that, from our point of view, from the Way of Impeccability, we are precisely focused on that contagion of awareness, because we're
oh yes.
all about awareness. We're all
That
about
gives me
awareness.
chills.
Yes, because it's a deliberate way of living, and that liberation comes from that awareness, to be paying attention to attention itself, to be paying attention to
Yes.
attunement, to have that awareness of connectivity, the awareness of more. And this is not just the more of ourselves, but the more of everything. And this is very transformative. It is incredibly powerful.
And it's
Saying
capital M-O.
Of course, it is capital M more, yes.
more,
Yeah,
MORE.
yes, but capital
Uh,
M more, not just regular more, capital M more. Yeah, yeah.
mm,
It's just a thing we do. Part of the Way of Impeccability is that we compile our own dictionary of power, of
yeah.
terms which have
Yes.
profound effect and influence on us.
Yes.
So more,
Yes.
so more is one of those, because it means more to us, and that's why we capitalize it. Capital
Love it.
Right.
Yes.
Same with
Yes.
capital U, understanding.
I've
Capital
been doing the
patience.
same thing.
Right. Capital T,
Wow.
trust.
It's
Impeccability.
amazing.
That's why you're here. That's why
Exactly.
you're here.
Really, the synchronicities really don't amaze me so much
Yeah.
anymore, but their
No, no.
impact is just as heavy.
Yes, yes. And in one of those power terms would be attunement, and this is part of attunement. When we are attuned to our intent, to what is important to us, then we start to make those connectivities automatically. They come because we have that clarity of intent, and this is absolutely vital. It is everything that we were talking about earlier, that clarity of intent. When we have this, then stuff starts to happen, because we know what it is that we're doing, and we're putting that energy, that force of our intent out there into the world. Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And it all works together. There's a lot more to all of this, obviously, but just real quick, in terms of how it's pertinent right now. Very powerful.
Symbiosis.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things that we really try and focus on is collaboration.
Yes.
Because collaboration is 1 + 1 + 1 = more. Capital M more again.
I like
Right.
it. Or,
It's so powerful.
and the obvious Fibonacci sequence.
That too.
1 + 1 + 1, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You get more. Exactly.
Well, that too.
You don't get 3, you get more. But that's
There you
because
go.
of collaboration, and because of attunement, and because of that connectivity. When you leverage intent, and you leverage everybody's attention and awareness, when you put all of this together, you get more. It's very, very, very powerful. And this is the excitement of what Bina was sharing. This is where our previous Zoom session that we also did as a live was about the physical consequences of the Way of Impeccability. To realize that when we start to get stuff together, when our awareness and our attention and our intent is in attunement, and we are being deliberate about things, there's a physical consequence to it. For instance, in the case that Venus' habits of sleeping changed, which changed the way she woke up. She changed, and the deliberation of waking up with specific intent to mood manage and to set her day and to do specific, physical things, change the way she feels and is on a physical way of being. And since we are talking about a health center, it's all connected. That physical consequence is very powerful. It's very, very, very powerful. So I'm making the points to connect everything, because the connectivity is something that we focus on very regularly, to be able to see that connectivity. This is very empowering and very transforming. Yeah. Donna, you have something?
Oh yes.
Do I have something?
Yeah, just take away, just perspective, just anything.
It's very exciting to me. I just got back from jazz, and one of the things they asked everybody to do is write down their goals, new year, and the traditional write down your goals. So this has nothing to do with ME, little me. It's the more part, but I wrote down strengthening and empowering mind, body, and soul. And it was interesting in the responses that were when we were looking at the goals, because a lot of times people's were, I want to be able to do 20 sit-ups, and I want to have a stronger abdomen, or I want my arms to be more toned. And I'm sitting there thinking there's so much more. We're going to accomplish so much more than that. I was so excited. And so I had to write it down. And I know that I'm unsure of the understanding, but it was just like, I just had the biggest smile, and I just got home, and here we are. And if the connectivity to all that is, wow.
Yes.
And my boss sends me a text and asks me to come in on my day off. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling that today. Now I know why.
Brilliant.
Good for you.
Brilliant.
Good for us.
Most excellent. Most excellent.
Right. That's great.
Donna, in that moreness, in your vision, how did that moreness in terms of the, just beside physical exercising, in terms of the intent that you set in your class this morning, how does that connect to the moreness of the intent of your vision?
The moreness I tend to set for my classes is a lifting of spirit, really, just transcending and spreading out energy that, whether they are consciously aware of it or not, like Bina says, which I love that saying, awareness is contagious.
Yeah.
So I keep it simple, and the intent is to offer as positive vibe as I can and have it just radiate through me and out into the class. And in that, every single woman in there feels the power within. And it's manifested because in class, we have routines that are getting harder and harder physically, but the connection is they're having more and more confidence in themselves. And as a group, there were people in there that couldn't do push-ups, regular old push-ups. And today, we were like doing push-ups. And now you may think, oh, that's wonderful, but it's so much more than wonderful. It's so much more than a push-up. That joined energy and that power that was behind it.
The intention.
Oh my gosh. I was like, had the hugest smile to see that. Everybody else was excited about the push-up. I was like so excited about the more of that.
You were excited about the implications.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and we're always looking at those implications, because those implications connect us to the more.
Exactly.
The ability to do the push-up, yes, that is empowering in itself. But the fact that they realize that they have the power to change, which is what our entire previous Zoom session was about, that we can deliberately change through acts of intent. This becomes really, really transformative. So it's the consequences and the implications of your simple action has profound connectivity down the line. They may not necessarily realize it now, but over time they will do. We all
even if they don't, that's okay too, because it's just going to happen. It was so awesome to see. It was very cool.
That is very, very, very cool. Whoa, wow, what a powerful intent. Let me jump here real quick. I'm keen to hear from Tyler. Just any perspective, any takeaway, anything, Tyler. Just to share something. 1 second, we're not hearing you, Tyler.
Microphone.
He's muted.
You're muted. Hold on.
Yeah, your mic. Flip down on the top of the screen.
I got you. I'll unmute him. Yeah.
Oh, he's got it.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go. All right, say again.
I do like the idea of self-awareness being contagious, and for me, like, I've been really working on humbling myself, so I can, and taking a step back from the self. And I feel like what you guys are saying, I don't have quite the vocabulary and how I would say it like you guys do, but I really like what you have to say. It's like speaking into my life. Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm on my own journey for self-discovery, and that's where I'm at right now. I just like to listen before I talk more, just because I like to, I don't know, I'm more I like to take it in and think about it and ponder it, and I like to read and just really meditate on what I'm thinking before I talk about it a lot of times, so I don't really put myself on the spot.
Now you see why I asked Tyler to say something.
Yeah.
Because in that little bit that Tyler just said, didn't we just get the profound magic of Tyler, the fullness of him? It's like, dude, man, this is so cool what you just said. This is so huge. So just awesome. So we really got to feel you and connect to you and say, wow, this is really cool. Because that's exactly what we're all about, Tyler. We're all on this journey.
I like what he said. I mean, he understood the meanings, but the words and the language he wasn't accustomed to. So, I mean, that furthers the connection of understanding.
Yes, capital U understanding, exactly.
You know,
so, yeah.
That way, you know, no matter what, no matter how it's written,
and the purity.
no matter what. Anyway, you can write sentences backwards, you can write them forwards, but the meaning is not lost. We understand.
Exactly. It's the underlying intent is the key. And this is why we have that dictionary of power. We build it, and we build that vocabulary because we understand without understanding. But when we connect to vocabulary that is really significant and pertinent and relevant and meaningful to us individually, we don't have the same dictionary of power. But when we find what's meaningful to us, we now can get to utilize in very real and practical ways that greater understanding that we've always had. But now we can apply it and use it specifically. And of course, the key theme of the day is deliberately. And that's huge. So it'll come, Tyler. It'll come. It's very massive. It's very exciting, right? Sure, you were saying something. Say again.
That's what Tyler just did, though, is he was deliberate. He was very deliberate in his application. He was choosing, and he's very aware of himself to say, you know, this is how I operate. This is how I work. So hats off to you, Tyler. I'm giving you a high five to your line here.
And I figured that you guys would share my joy in just enjoying Tyler and now David also. You know, I just knew that when you guys shared that the rest will feel what I felt. You know, and it was very obvious. So.
Very obvious. Yes.
Tyler.
We can feel pure intent behind that,
and that realness of being, which is very important, right? That realness of being. This is what we aspire to, what we are constantly looking to be, what we are aiming towards. That more of us. It doesn't just entail the more of our magic, but the more of being real. Because if we're not real, then we're just wasting our time, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is very exciting. Very exciting. Guys, I'm so excited and so energized, but I actually want to end the meeting on this point so that this energy and we'll come back to Sher's video. We'll watch your video. But I feel that there's so much power and so much implication, so much consequence that needs to be enfolded and needs to be assimilated and incorporated and thought through and connected to, that I want to actually end this right now so that we can just let it all settle into ourselves. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and you can share our previous video with David and Tyler.
Yes, yeah, David or at least they both already saw that on the connectivity. I was actually listening to what we were saying. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he was watching on Facebook. Yeah.
It's been really nice. It's been really nice having you, David, here and listening to you and Tyler, the way you approach and the way you share. It is really amazing and welcome you. So I hope that we will have you more.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So end meeting, everybody. I'm gonna and we'll connect later. We'll all chat later some more. So stick around. Those who want to. I'm just gonna end the live session and we
Carpe diem.
Yes, exactly. And we can just chat and let the chat go as wherever it goes.
Most excellent.
Yeah, it is most excellent. Exactly, excellent, most excellent. we love most excellent. It keeps us going. Actually, I'm gonna hop off the Zoom as well, just so that we can chat a little bit locally here, and then we'll come back to it. So we'll chat again later, Sherry. Yeah.
All right, that's great.
Okay. All right, brilliant. All right. Bye bye.
Okay.
All right, end meeting.